Good morning students, welcomes SRNK Government Degree College, Banswara, presented by V. Nasimlu, Faculty of Physical Science, Department of Physics. So students, today we are going to discuss about the important topic is Bohr's atomic model. Bohr's atomic model. So in last class we were discuss about the Rutherford nuclear atomic model. According to Rutherford atomic model, the electrons are distributed in a atom around the nucleus, and he has assumed that the atom consists of a central positively charged hard core is called as a nucleus. So when around the nucleus the electrons are distributed, so these electrons can be gradually losses or emitted electromagnetic radiation to these electrons can be attracted due to the Coulomb force or electrostatic attraction force of nucleus to spherical motion to it will be fall into the nucleus, then the atom is collapsed. As like the Rutherford unable to or failure to explain the stability of a atom, and he also does not explain the distribution of electrons around the nucleus. So this is the main important failures of the Rutherford atomic model, students. So according to these failures, the Bohr scientist, Niels Bohr scientist, he has studied the total Rutherford nuclear atomic model, and due to that he has obtained or determined or assumed the following important features. What are the important features or assumptions or postulates of the Bohr's atomic model? Now we are going to learn. See, be carefully, students. The first assumption or postulate of the Bohr's atomic model is the atom consists, see here, the atom consists of a central positively charged hard core is called as nucleus. So this nucleus is obtained by the Rutherford nuclear atomic model. So same postulates is considered by the Bohr's atomic model. The Bohr scientist also consider this. Yes, he has also determined the hard core is nothing but nucleus. Then afterwards, the second feature of it is the electrons are revolving round the nucleus in circular orbit. In Rutherford, what he has mentioned, the electrons are distributed around the nucleus, but not mentioned the what's your circular path or circular orbits. Rutherford didn't explain the circular orbit, just has mentioned or assumed electrons are distributed around the nucleus only. How to these are the arranged, circular or elliptical or whatever may be, which linear or, he doesn't explain. But the Bohr's atomic model is clearly explained. The electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular orbits. This can be as shown in a below diagram. See this diagram here, students, in this. So here this is the atom. So this is the complete what is the atom we can take here. So in that the positively charged hard core is called as a nucleus, and around the nucleus the electrons are these dotted, thick dotted points are called as a electrons here. okay, these electrons are revolving in a circular orbit. So these are the different circles. In that circular orbit, revolve in a circular orbit around the nucleus. Okay, now, okay, let us we have to consider here the third postulates or third feature is, okay, the electrons. When we can take the what is here, the outward centrifugal force is, the outward centrifugal force is balanced by the net electrostatic attraction force is nothing but Coulomb attraction force towards the nucleus as shown above figure. See here, students, okay, in this figure what happened, this is the electron, okay, so upon that see here the electrostatic force or Coulomb attraction force towards the nucleus. Nucleus is a positive charge. This is having the what is your charge is a plus E. Okay, positive charge. And electron is contain the what is the E charge. Okay, so as like a negative charge and a plus Q minus Q, both are it is will be attract to each other. So in between the electrostatic attraction force is contained, or it is called as a Coulomb attraction force. So this Coulomb attraction force or electrostatic attraction force is applied on electron. At the same time, the centrifugal force, the force which is outside of the nucleus is called as a centrifugal force which is activated on electron. So it is nothing but mv square by r, and the electrostatic force is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught E square by r. So E into E, already we know, okay, the plus Q minus Q, Q1, Q2 charges we will apported in r distance. So therefore, the attraction or repulsion force F we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1, Q2 by r square. So here Q1 is the E, Q2 is the E. So E square by r square, as like so both the forces, electrostatic attraction force and centrifugal forces, both are, okay, applied on the electrons to each and equal to each other. Then what happen, the electron can be at a stable state, okay, to it will be revolving around the nucleus. This is the main concept is assumed by the Bohr's atomic model. Why the electron having the stable state? So it is does not explained by the Rutherford. This electron what happened here according to Rutherford explanation, this electron when it is revolving around the what is a nucleus, it can be losses, it can be losses electromagnetic radiation, or it will be emit the electromagnetic radiation. Due to that this electron is gradually, okay, losses to, it will be moving in a spiral, okay, motion to fall into the nucleus. Therefore atom is collapsed, as like the Rutherford is mentioned, is assumed. But according to the Bohr's atomic model, what happened here in this concept, okay, both the forces, electrostatic attraction force towards the nucleus and centrifugal force outside of the electron can be activated to balance to electron is not fall into the nucleus. It will be revolving around the, okay, circular path or circular orbit. Okay, this is the, okay, third concept. He was tremendously, okay, determined. Then afterwards, okay, the fourth postulates or future of the Bohr's atomic model is, Bohr scientists assumed that orbital angular momentum of the electron is equal to an integral multiple of h by 2 pi quantity. So here h is the Max Planck's, okay, Planck's constant, 2 pi is the phase angle. So therefore, okay, what he has assumed here, the orbital angular momentum, when the electron will be revolving around the circular path, it can be moved with a angular velocity. So therefore when the angular velocity is there, due to that angular acceleration is comes, due to that angular momentum is comes. That's why orbital angular momentum of the electron is equal to the integral multiple of the some quantity h by 2 pi. This is also excellent assumption of the Bohr's atomic model. So that's why, therefore, orbital angular momentum J we can write n into h by 2 pi. This is the equation 1, where n is 1, 2, 3 and so on. So far we can take this is called as a integer or number of orbits is indicates. First, second, third and fourth, fifth, so on and so far. Orbits is represented by corresponding 1 to 3 integers. It can be denoted by the k, l, m, n, so on and so far. We can take the orbits as like n is indicates the integer, h is the Planck's constant, that is equal to 6.625 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule seconds remains constant. As like so the Bohr's scientist, he has assumed angular momentum is equivalent to the integer multiple of the h by 2 pi. This is a very very important of the for competitive examinations. But the momentum of the electron is p equal to, we can write m into v, mass into velocity. Mass of the electron is m, its linear velocity is v. So mass, product of the mass and velocity is called as a momentum. So electron momentum p is equal to mv. But the radius of orbit is represented by small r. Therefore we can write angular momentum J is equal to, we can write p cross r. The product of the momentum and radius of the orbit is called as the angular momentum. So p is equal to mv into r, that equal to J is equal to mv r. This is the angular momentum of an electron. So therefore this is represented by the equation 2. So from 1 and 2 equations, what we have to obtain here? J is equal to J, angular momentum J equal to J. That's why mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. This is the third equation of the Bohr's atomic model. Then afterwards, now let us we have to take the fifth assumption of the Bohr's atomic model is no energy is radiated or emitted by the electron as long as it remains in its stationary orbit. Understood, students, this point? So when the electron is revolving in a circular path or circular orbit or stationary orbits, until and unless it does not emit or radiate the electromagnetic energy or electromagnetic radiation. Means when electron is contained in a where here stationary orbit, then it does not emit any energy or radiated energy. That's why we can reference the what is Ramma here. The permitted orbits are non-radiating paths of the electron. What is the? Therefore, thus the permitted orbits are non-radiated paths. Non-radiated paths means here the orbits does not emit any energy of from the electron. So this is the sometimes in competitive examinations. Understand, students? Now the sixth postulate of their future of the Bohr's atomic model is the radiation of energy takes place only when an electron jumps from permitted orbit of higher energy to another permitted orbit of lower energy. So what is the condition when the radiation of energy is emitted here, students? Simple. The radiation of energy emitted from the electron, only the possibility of the electron will be jumps from higher energy level of orbit to lower energy level of orbit, or higher orbit to lower orbit. So for example, now let us we can take. So here, so this is represented by the lower orbit energy E1. This is represented by higher orbit energy E2, E1 and E2. Suppose an electron will be jumps from, this is the electron from jumps from higher energy orbit to lower energy orbit, then what happened here? Okay, the difference between these energies such as E2 minus E1 is equal to the, this is the E2 minus E1 is equal to the h nu, means it is equal to the photon energy or quantum. This is the or energy packet, okay, is indicates the difference between the higher and lower energy E2 minus E1 is equal to h nu. It is called as a photon energy or quantum. So as like it, therefore E2 minus E1 equal to h nu. So in this condition only, it means when the electron jumps from the high energy level to lower energy level, only the, okay, heat radiation or radiation energy can be emitted, otherwise it does not emitted from the electron. Okay, understood students properly? Now, okay, according to these, okay, assumptions, okay, according to these assumptions, the Bohr scientist, okay, he has applied these postulates or futures to the, okay, hydrogen atom. So the Bohr scientist, Niels Bohr scientist, he has taken, okay, the hydrogen atom is one of the example. According to the hydrogen atom example, so he applied the, or he, okay, given the, or he is, okay, applicable to the, okay, hydrogen atom. So that's why it is called as a Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom. What is the title of here? Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom. What is the Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom is indicates, means, okay, the Bohr scientist taken the hydrogen atom. According to this hydrogen atom, he's explained the, okay, postulates or assumptions. Okay, what are the, okay, that assumptions can be applied to the hydrogen atom to determine the results of it. So here, okay, according to Bohr's theory of hydrogen atom is based on the following assumptions. What are the assumptions here? See, the same assumptions which are studied in a Bohr's atomic model, that can be applicable to it, a hydrogen atom. So one is represented by an electron in an atom moves in a circular orbit, okay, about the nucleus under the influence of Coulomb force of attraction between the electron and nucleus. So already students we are studied. What happened here? The electrons are revolving around the nucleus in circular orbits. Okay. Then this electron can be influenced by the, or balanced by the, okay, Coulomb attraction force between electron and nucleus. The second assumption is indicated by the atom becomes stable due to Coulombian force of attraction is balanced by the Newtonian, okay, centrifugal force as shown in, okay, below diagram. See here. So this is the, what is here, orbit. Okay. So let us, we can take the, what is here, stationary orbit. This is represented by the nucleus. The electron can be revolving around the nucleus in a circular path. Okay, circular path. Therefore, what happened here, on electron, okay, towards the nucleus is Coulomb attraction force is applied. That is the 1 by 4 pi epsilon E square by R square, or, okay, E square by 4 pi epsilon R square we can take, and at the same time centrifugal force is applicable, that is mv square by R. So that's why the electron stable to, it will be revolving around the nucleus in particular stationary orbit. So this is the, we will draw the, what is a tangential line, or, okay, along this direction the linear velocity of electron is contained. Otherwise it is moving with angular velocity omega, angular acceleration alpha is comes, due to that angular momentum j also comes to the electron. So therefore the Coulomb force F equal to, we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught E square by R square, equation 1. The centrifugal force F equal to mv square by R, equation 2. From 1 and 2 equations, F equal to F, therefore we can write 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught E square by R square equal to mv square by R. This is the equation 3. So, as like the centripetal force is equivalent to the Coulombian force. Okay. Then afterwards, he has determined the third assumption is the orbital angular momentum of an electron is equal to the integral multiple of, okay, integral multiple of h by 2 pi quantity. So, already this will be determined in okay, Bose atomic model, okay, futures or futures of the Bose atomic equal to mvr equal to what is the nh by 2 pi, and third is the electron moving in such allowed stationary orbits does not emit electromagnetic radiation. Okay, students, so we are obtained what is here when the electron is revolving in a circular orbit, it does not emit the electromagnetic radiation. The fourth is, so electromagnetic radiation are emitted if an electron jumps from higher energy orbit to lower energy orbit E1 only. So therefore E2 minus E1 equal to h nu is obtained. Here E1 is the lower orbital energy, E2 is the higher orbital energy, h is the Planck's constant, and nu is equal to visible frequency of electromagnetic radiation. Okay. So these are the main important assumptions can be, okay, obtained from the, okay, Bose atomic model of hydrogen atom. This is the hydrogen atoms, okay, assumptions. So from this the Bose scientist, he has determined, okay, so he has obtained some following quantities. Okay, what are the following quantities can be obtained? Let us we have to discuss here. So in this concept, see here, according to the Bose, okay, atomic model has determined the radius of orbit, radii of orbits. Different electrons are revolving around the nucleus in different orbits. That orbits, okay, what is the radii and a different radius, let us we have to determine. So how to can determine means, see here, okay, Bose theory of hydrogen atom, okay, hydrogen atom, okay, the angular momentum of an electron, Planck's constant 2 pi is the, okay, phase angle, but the angular momentum of electron with respect to, okay, momentum p and radius of orbit small r is j is equal to p into r, j is equal to p equal to mv into r mvr. From equation 1 and 2, okay, we will get, okay, j is equal to j. So therefore mvr equal to nh by 2 pi. This is the equation. So in this, what we have to do, let us we have to determine the velocity of a electron. So v is equal to what we can write here, nh by mr, take this side 2 pi m bar m into r. So this is equation 3. But according to first postulate of Bose theory of hydrogen atom is, what do we know here, the Coulomb attraction force, or, okay, here we can take the electrostatic attraction force 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into c square by r square is equivalent to the centrifugal force mv square by r, or centrifugal force is equivalent to the Coulomb attraction force. This is equation 4. So now, okay, let us we can take the what is here according this condition. So we have to, okay, take the, okay, so let us substitute the equation 3 in equation 4. Okay, we get, okay, m by v into v square is there. We could already obtain the what is the nh by 2 pi m r substituted. So v is, okay, nh by 2 pi m bar into whole square is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught e square by r square. So in this condition, okay, we can square the what is here below bracket m into n square h square by r into pi square and r 4 into 4 into pi square, okay, m square, okay, r square. This r is comes that equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught e square by r square. So in this condition, so r square gets cancelled, 4 pi gets cancelled, then m and m gets cancelled. The remaining terms are n square h square by, here pi means 1 pi is there, and m square, m is gets cancelled, 1m into r is equal to, what is the Ramma here, e square by epsilon naught, e square by epsilon. So we can take the cross multiplication here. So e r into, or e square into pi m r e square pi m is equal to, multiply this, what is n square h square by epsilon naught. So what we will require, here we will require the r value. So r equal to, we can write n square h square by epsilon naught by pi m e square. So this is the radius of the orbit of an electron. So therefore, in general, okay, the nth orbit radius is, nth orbit radius we can write Rn equal to n square h square by epsilon naught into pi m e square. This is equation 5. Okay, now according to this, what happened here, h constant, epsilon constant, h is the Planck's constant, epsilon is the permittivity of the free space. Okay, then here m is the mass of an electron, and okay, E is the charge of an electron. These are the constants. So what happened here, therefore Rn is direct proportional to only n square. So means, this means what is indicates here, the radius of orbits is, the radius of orbits is directly proportional to the square of the, okay, integral, okay, multiple of the integer, square of the integer is called as a principal quantum number n. So what is the, this square is okay, of n square is, okay, n square is nothing but principal quantum number. Here principal n is indicated by the principal quantum number. Okay, as like we have to determine the, okay, radius of what is here, an orbit. This is the radius of orbit. So n equal to, we can take the, what is 1, first orbit radius comes, and n equal to 2 second, n equal to 3 third, and so on. So far we can take different radii of orbits can be determined by this following formula. So if in this condition, now let us, we have to determine, okay, let us okay, consider n equal to 1 means, okay, first orbit radius shall be determined. If n equal to 1 is the first orbit of a hydrogen atom, so h equal to 6.625 into 10 to the power minus 34 joule second, Planck's constant, and epsilon equal to permittivity of the free space, that equal to 8.86 into 10 to the power minus 12 coulomb square by Newton meter square. M is the mass of an electron, that is 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg, and E is equal to charge of an electron, that is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. So these, okay, values which are, we have to substitute the, okay, above radius equation, such as Rn equal to, means okay, the value of the what is the radius equation is represented by the, from equation 5, okay, Rn equal to n square h square epsilon by pi m e square. So here, okay, R1, n equal to 1 means R1 equal to 1 square into 6.6, okay, let us 25 not necessary, 6.6 to 10 to the power minus 34 whole square into 8.86 into 10 to the power minus 12 by pi into 3.14 into m equal to 9.1 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 whole square. So when we have take the, what's here, okay, in this is powers we can take, powers take aside, and quantities take aside. So here 1 square means 1, 6.6 whole square into 8.86 take aside into 10 to the power of minus 68 into 10 to the power of minus 12 by, in this 3.14, 9.1 into 1.6 whole square into, here 10 to the power of minus 31 into 10 to the power of minus 38. Okay, 19 3 is 38. So So this powers can be gets cancelled. We are obtained only minus 11 here. Minus 10 to the power of minus 11. So now R1 is 8.6 into 10 to the power minus 11 by 3.14 into 9.1 into 1.6 into 1.6. So now this will be multiplied and divided 0.29 into 10 to the power minus 11 meters. This can be right 0. 1 point is decreased as 0.529 into 10 to the power minus 10 meters. But 1 angstrom equal to 10 to the power minus 10 meters, or 10 to the power minus 10 meters equal to 1 angstrom. 10 to the power minus 8 centimeters equal to 1 angstrom we can take. But here this is a meter. This can be right R1 equal to, okay, 0.529 angstroms. 529 angstroms. Understood here, students? Suppose this is the radius of the first orbit of a hydrogen atom. This is the, what is here? Okay, the first orbit of the, okay, hydrogen atom. So that when we have to obtain the, what is the, okay, the radius of radius in first orbit in meters and angstroms, it is converted into the diameter. So what is the diameter of the, okay, first orbit of hydrogen atom? So therefore d1 is equal to 2r1. So d1 equal to 2 into 0.529 into 10 to the power minus 10 meters. We can substitute, multiply it to 1.058 into 10 to the power minus 10 meters is came. This is the diameter. So to everybody. Okay, thank you everybody.